Coming up on DITV, Lieutenant Governor of Iowa came to see some new technology advancements in agriculture.
And later, 2 professors conducted a study getting different perspectives on bullying.
2 teams are rounding the bend and heading for postseason play, but another one just began. More info in sports.
We still have some winter weather to come in the forecast. Stay tuned for weather.
All that and more coming up on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning, thank you for tuning in. I'm Sydney Zatz.
And I'm John Chenoweth. There's a tech startup gaining a lot of attention in the agricultural world. DITV reporter Declan Levy has more.
Rantizo is the year-old startup company that claims they deliver solutions. Those solutions, drones. Rantizo is developing a simpler way to recognize field issues, diagnose them, and then aerially spray solutions via drones. CEO and co-founder Michael Ott noticed the labor shortage, and he thinks the electro-spray drone will help.
The labor shortage in agriculture. There's not enough people to do all the work that needs to be done. So some people are framing it as, oh no, our jobs are going to be automated. We're saying we have to automate these jobs because there's not enough people to do it.
Lieutenant Governor Adam Gregg stopped by the office Monday afternoon to learn the benefits of Rantizo and the impact of electrostatic charge.
Statics, and that puts a charge on the spray, so it causes it to wrap around the leaf.
Okay.
And that gives you a way to significantly reduce your payload. And that makes drone-based spraying viable. If you've got to carry all the water, that's not the best idea. But if you can reduce your payload and then spot spray, then it becomes a lot more viable.
And the future of farming is in the hands of these drones, as that will one day be able to reduce a whole lot of costs and overall just make it easier. Reporting from the Rantizo headquarters in Iowa City, Declan Levy, DITV.
President Trump declared a national emergency to secure federal money for the border wall on February 15th. Today, the House will take a vote that will mark which side of the issue they are leaning on. Most Republicans won't go along with Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who said yesterday that the national emergency violates a balance of power.
The president's power grab usurps that constitutional responsibility and fundamentally violates the balance of power envisioned by our founders. To defend our democracy, the House will pass Congressman Castro's privilege resolution to terminate the emergency declaration tomorrow.
This week's vote is important in determining which side Republicans will stand.
Congressman Steve King announced he will be running for something in 2020 and is not for presidency. He's taking re-election for his seat in the U.S. House next year. At least 3 other Northwest Iowans have plans to run against him in the primaries. But King says he plans on doing things differently.
We want to be competitive in the advertisement that goes out. We want to be competitive in the yard signs. But we're just going to work this thing.
King was removed from his assignments after being accused of making controversial comments. However, he says that he will not stop him from running for his seat in the House.
The Iowa City Community Review Board is the only one of its kind in Iowa to review complaints and investigations against Iowa City police officers. Board members hope that this will increase transparency between the citizens and officers. When a complaint is received, an internal affairs investigation is conducted among officers, witnesses, and the issuer of the complaint. There is a proposal in the works about getting one-on-one conversations with the police department and the citizens. And these conversations are welcome because it allows both sides to represent a clear statement of their findings. Now, John, I'm sure Iowa City Police have been hearing a lot of complaints this winter. I heard there's a salt shortage, so things are not getting salted down.
That's true. As I say, right outside my door, there's this huge block of ice. I swear every morning I slip on it. Definitely a safety hazard. Hopefully, Iowa City Departments will check that out for me. But I say we toss it over to the weather studio, and hopefully they can give us some good news about the upcoming weather.
Thanks, guys. I don't have a lot of great news yet. We're still going to have some icy streets and sidewalks. This morning, we are looking at cloudy skies with a high of 22 degrees. There may be a little sun peeking through. There's a 20% chance of flurries starting in the early morning and into the afternoon, but accumulation should be minimal. Looking into the evening, those clouds are going to hang around a little longer with a low of 21 degrees. We have some pretty mild weather today, so let's look forward to the week ahead. The overcast skies will continue with a high of 24 and a low of 5 degrees. There will also be some light winds around 14 miles per hour. Moving into Thursday, there's a 40% chance for some snow in the morning, with mainly cloudy skies and a high of 21 degrees and a low in the single digits. On to Friday, we will see a 50% chance of snow with about 1 inch of accumulations expected throughout the day and mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will increase slightly with a high in the upper 20s and a low in the single digits. Looking into Saturday, we will finally see some sun with mostly sunny skies. The temperature will be dropping to around 10 degrees and the low has potential to move into the sub-zero temperatures, so make sure you bundle up if you're heading outside. On Sunday, we will again be seeing single-digit temperatures with the low having potential to creep below zero. The sun will be around a little bit longer with partly cloudy skies, so enjoy it while you can. This week, we won't be getting much of a break from winter weather, so stay warm and be prepared for those sub-zero temperatures into the weekend. Back to you, Sydney and John.
A disease affecting animals like deer and elk poses a threat of spreading to Johnson County. Chronic wasting disease causes degeneration of the brain and it can be fatal. It can spread through direct contact between animals, and the disease was first confirmed in 4 Iowa counties in 2013, including Dubuque County. The DNR regularly tests random samples from deer across the state and so far have not found a positive sample in the county. To try to stop the spread of disease, the DNR discourages people from feeding animals because it gathers large groups of deer and can spread the disease.
As technology advances, cyberbullying is a new way children bully their peers. University of Iowa Associate Professors of Journalism Rachel Young and Melissa Tully looking at the parents' perspective on the issue. The two administrators mentioned there's a lack of parental involvement when it came to cyberbullying. They asked parents to consider different scenarios with different roles their child could take in bullying online. Even though they didn't grow up with the various methods of social media, they can still help their kids in these situations. So yeah, Sydney, I'm really looking forward to the upcoming sports. Obviously, winter sports are coming to a close. Spring's just right around the corner. Hawkeyes wrestled over this weekend. Fortunately, they lost to Oklahoma State. What do you think?
That's right, John. But to tell us more, we have Kimberly Bates in the sports studio with all our recaps. Kim?
Thanks, guys. My voice might be a little raspy today, but that's not going to stop me from talking about Hawkeye sports. The Hawkeye wrestling team took a major tumble against Oklahoma State, losing 27-12. And one thing rings true, the Hawks did not control their pace of most of their matches. With more on this coveted Hawkeye pace, here's wrestling beat reporter John Rawson.
When people think of Iowa wrestling, they think of speed. And head coach Tom Brands knows how important it is for his wrestlers to do their thing.
It's always important to dictate the pace of the match. It's always important to set the tone. Again, it doesn't matter what year it is or what opponent it is, something that we have been implementing or trying to implement, certainly communicating to our guys. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. Go out there, impose your will, and score points.
And when Brands talks about scoring points, it's easy to look at the leading man, Austin DeSanta.
I mean, I'm not really a pinner, so yeah, I mean, scoring points is my thing, I guess, so yeah.
However, level-headed sophomore Alex Marinelli knows it's important to keep the intensity down off the mat so they can be rip-roaring on the mat.
But you also don't want to get to your head a little bit and get too amped up. Like I said, you got to stay in your match, and if Spencer Lee's got a tight match, an overtime match, you can't get up and go crazy for him, because that's not going to do anything for you.
The Hawkeyes look to maintain this speed and energy as now the dual season is over and championship season is right around the corner. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Jonathan Rawson, DITV Sports.
The team has a couple weeks off before Big Tens as they look to roll that pace into championship season. Now moving from Carver Hawkeye to snow-capped Dwayne Banks, the Hawkeye baseball team has opened up their season, and DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodin is live in the newsroom with more. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning, Kim.
So Lucy, the baseball team is 2 weeks into their season, and pitching was a big question mark coming into this year. What have we seen from the Iowa pitchers thus far?
Well, you're definitely right when you said that pitching, it was a very big question mark coming into this season. Iowa lost their Friday starter, Nick Allgaier, their Saturday starter, Brady Chanuel, and then one of the most consistent relievers they've ever seen at Iowa in Zach Daniels. So we were all a little worried coming into this season, but those questions have been answered. Grant Judkins came in and was the National Pitcher of the Week against Hawaii last week, where he pitched 6 innings with no hits and 11 strikeouts. Now it's looking like he's going to be the Sunday guy this year. We can have Cole McDonald on the Friday night spot, which he had the Sunday starting role last year, and then Jack Dreyer fitting in on Saturday. So right now we're looking pretty consistent. We're still going to have to see who kind of takes that midweek role, but I wouldn't be too worried about Iowa pitching this year.
I know Iowa gained a lot of baseball pitchers from other schools this year, but they also lost a lot of big hitters coming into this season. Has that been a problem so far?
That hasn't been a problem so far. I mean, when you lose a Robert Newstrom, a Tyler Cropley, obviously you're not going to see those home runs that you're seeing last year, those power hitters. And that's what Coach Heller said at Media Day. He said, we're not going to have a guy who's going to hit 15 home runs this year, but we are going to have a very well-rounded lineup, and that's what we've seen so far. We've seen really good performances from Ben Norman, which we can expect, Mitchell Bowe, Tanner Wheatrich, all solid options. The only thing worth noting is that on Friday, Chris Whalen, who's I would say is Iowa's most consistent hitter coming into the season, went down with an injury, so we don't really know what that entails, that means for him going forward. He has been hurt by injuries in the past. He spent a couple games last year out with several injuries, so hopefully we'll see Whalen back in that roster. But honestly, Iowa hitting's looking pretty solid right now. They're off to a good start this season, sitting at 4-3, and they're going to have a huge challenge going to Oklahoma State this weekend.
At least they're getting out of the cold temperatures. Lucy Verdeen, live in the newsroom. Thank you. While baseball might be beginning, one sport is in its final quarter. The Iowa women's basketball team is prepping for tourney time. And while the focus is set there, the Hawkeyes have a bright future ahead. DITV women's basketball beat reporter Zach Logan has more on a hometown freshman.
Logan Cook was born and raised in Iowa City and has watched the Hawkeyes ever since she was a little girl. And for her to now play for the team is a dream come true.
It's like everything I ever imagined. Like, we have a great group of seniors leading us and a great group of upperclassmen, and I feel like the transition went really smoothly. Everyone was so welcoming and nice the day I got here. And I luckily came in with 3 other great girls, 3 other great freshmen, and we're just best friends now, so it's been really fun.
While Cook has a long career to go as a Hawkeye, she hopes to continue to improve mentally and physically throughout the season.
It's just improving every day in practice and in the strength room, getting stronger. Just learning from the great group of upperclassmen we have. I mean, it's a lot of fun watching them in practice and see how well they excel, just learning from them and hopefully keep improving my game.
For Cook to be able to achieve her goals, she has the support of the entire team right behind her.
Looking at everything Megan and Hannah would do, and then when I switched to guard, Tanaya, Mackenzie, Lexi, so just Kathleen, it's like everyone on the team, like just learning from all the posts and guards and getting the chance to kind of learn from both.
Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Zachary Lohman with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
That's all for me in the sports studio. John and Cindy at the desk, back to you.
Thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news. And if that's enough of the Daily Iowan for you, you can check out the print edition of the news on stands now.
For DITV, I'm John Chenoweth.
And I'm Cindy Zatz. Have a great day, Iowa City, and stay warm.